Hello and welcome to the orientation session for Full Plate Living. And I am so excited to share a little bit about this program, how simple, easy, and impactful it is. And hopefully, towards the end, you're able to join me on this 8-week group coaching session that starts October 3rd. Now, let's get started. Now, a little bit about me. I am Jenny Pena. I am a national board certified health and wellness coach, a diabetes prevention program lifestyle coach, and I specialize in helping busy men and women that have prediabetes or are at high risk of developing diabetes to help them lower their A1C, balance their blood sugar, regain their energy, even lose a few pounds and just improve their overall health. And this program has something that is super special that will surely benefit you regardless if you are a pre-diabetic or not. Now, I want you to take a look at this picture. There are several items in here, and I am almost positive that at least one of them is something that you would eat. At least one. There's some fruits, there's some vegetables, there's some cruciferous, there's some whole grains, there's some beans. They all have one thing in common, and I'll tell you what that is: fiber. And fiber is so important for blood sugar balancing, for staying full longer, so it helps with weight management, and also for your gut health. And we all know that if your gut health is in good shape, pretty much your entire body starts functioning so much more efficient. Now, I want to give you a couple of seconds. I'm going to say a couple of seconds. Take a look at this picture and see if there's at least one item that you enjoy. I know I personally have enjoyed every single item that is listed there. And I love strawberries. Those are my favorite. Berries are for me like the my preferred item from the picture. And I am sure that you have something as well. Now, if you found one or more that you enjoy, amazing. This is pretty much the core of the program. It is all centered on fiber. Now, if you didn't find anything that you like on this picture, don't panic because this is just a tiny snapshot of all of the natural fiber sources that you can include in your food. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what this program is and what you will be able to discover through the 8 weeks that we'll spend together. Now, there's one term that you are going to become accustomed to, and that is powering up. Powering up your meal. And I will show you two examples of what powering up is. This program does not involve you restricting any food groups, counting calories, or anything like that. It is taking what you're already eating and powering up those meals. Now, look at the meal on the left. We have that bowl of oatmeal is 1 cup of cooked oatmeal, half a cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of sugar. When you look at the fiber content, that plate has 4 grams of fiber. Now, please take a look at the one on the right. This is the Fiber Power Up Oatmeal. The same cup of cooked oatmeal, half a cup of milk, the same. We have taken out the sugar, but we have added chopped apples and we have added slivered almonds. And guess what happens? Now the fiber content goes from 4 grams to 12 grams of fiber. And yet you're still eating your oatmeal, you're still eating your plate, you're actually going to eat more. Your meals are going to look huge in comparison. Why? Because you're incorporating fiber-rich foods. Now let's look at the next slide. And let's look at this other example of a meal makeover or a powered up meal. If you look at the left side, you see orange juice, you see 2 breakfast egg muffins, and this totals 4 grams of fiber. Now, would you want to take a guess how many calories are in here? And I'll show you in 3, 2, 1, 1,000 calories. Now, I don't want you to be too fixated on that because we're going to go to the meal on the right. And we're going to go over everything that is there. But take a look at this: 1,000 calories, 4 grams of fiber. Now, let's look at the items on the right. We have one breakfast egg muffin. We have half a cup of milk, 1 cup of cooked oatmeal, apple, orange, banana, half a cup of blackberries, 11 almonds, and all of that. How much fiber do you think it has? And I'm going to reveal that in 3, 2, 1. 22 grams of fiber. Now look at the calories. Isn't that interesting? Both sides have exactly the same amount of calories. However, one has 22 grams of fiber. So which one do you feel it's going to actually keep you full for longer? The one on the right. And that is what we are going to be doing and implementing week by week on this program. Now, there is something common about water and fiber. None of them have calories. I'm going to say that again. Water and fiber, none of them have calories. So that means that they help you feel full, they help your body function better, they support so many systems, and yet no calories. That's why this is an element that when it comes to blood sugar regulation, controlling cravings, managing your weight, it is so, so powerful. Now, let's talk about what is covered in these modules. I keep saying that it's 8 weeks. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it, right? These are the themes and these are the topics that we are going to cover every single week. I'm going to be facilitating it personally. These are live sessions around 50 minutes, and I will always leave about 10 minutes. If you have any questions, I am there to support you and to personalize your journey as much as possible. But we're going to cover everything from discovering how to power up your meals with natural fiber foods, learn the difference about certain fiber foods that may help you lose weight and maybe others that don't help as much. Also, learn how to reach a healthy weight while you're still enjoying the foods that you love. Find out how to keep all those negative thoughts because a lot of times when we're trying to incorporate changes and do things in a different way, there is a mindset that we need to work through. We're also going to learn how to just power up most of your important meals of the day, having smart strategies for grocery shopping, helping you in your health journey, and discovering the secret to making restaurant menus work for you. Because I know that there's a lot of diet mentality, a lot of different things out there, but I will say this one thing. What makes these changes successful is if you have the mentality that this is a lifestyle. Can I actually see myself doing this for the rest of my life? And that is going to give you sustainable change, and you're going to be able to incorporate things that you love. And I like to joke with my clients and I say, well, obviously, every doctor is going to tell you that to exercise more and eat more fruits and vegetables, right? Now, if you hate broccoli, please don't eat broccoli. There are so many other options. Everything that you incorporate, you should be able to enjoy it and really see it as part of your life and not necessarily a temporary fix. Now, here's some testimonials. This program is science backed, and these are different things that people have experienced as they do that. Another great benefit that a lot of people have experienced when they incorporate more fiber in their diets is also the triglycerides and cholesterol levels. And that is something that even with me as a specialist in diabetes prevention, a lot of diabetics, they also have to watch those numbers. And incorporating more fiber is just the it's key. It's absolutely key. And if you have been following me before, you know that I talk so much about protein, but the other element to that protein would be fiber. It's almost like they're that magnetic pair that when you put together, it is amazing what it does to your body, to your systems, to your health. Now, let's go over a few frequently asked questions. These are things that people have asked and sent notes and messages. Now, ideally for full plate living, and if you have followed me and have listened to my podcast, you will know that the guideline is between 25 to 30 grams of fiber. That's kind of like the guidance that it is. Full plate living actually wants to take you to be eating 40 grams of fiber. Now, how should I get to eating 40 grams of fiber a day if I am just starting? Well, I'll tell you this. Start slow. Add one water fiber food daily and gradually build that up. Eventually, the goal is to make sure that 75% of your plate has these water fiber foods. And this will naturally bring you close to those 40 grams. You're not even going to have to think through too much. Now, the next question that many people ask is, what about gas? Well, too much fiber obviously is going to create that if you're increasing it too fast. So that's why slow and steady, eating that fiber daily, drinking lots of water, and also there are some tricks that we are going to learn and we're going to discover while we're going through the program to incorporate beans and cruciferous vegetables while still reducing the discomfort. I know that they have a reputation, however, there are some tips and tricks that we can use. Now, what about fiber supplements? That's another thing that sometimes a lot of clients will say to me when I suggest, okay, so I don't see much fiber intake. They say, well, I can take a supplement. And psyllium seems to be a good supplement. However, they don't replace whole foods. And I will just recommend whole foods are going to provide extra nutrients, extra health benefits. So first, check with your doctor. Also, make sure that you're not on specific medications or anything like that that fiber may interact with. And that goes into our next question, which is, will more fiber affect my medication? And it might. And I'll tell you, it may be a positive thing. But that's why I always encourage if you're under any medical treatment, if you're making this change, please talk to your doctor. But you know why this may impact? Because then your blood sugar is going to be balanced. And then you may even experience the blood sugar levels to be a bit too low if you're in a higher dose of a medication. So please incorporate your doctor, talk to your doctor about it before making any changes because it can. It will impact your blood sugar, it will impact your weight and your medication needs. And that's the element. Now, if is there a difference? This is another thing that I talk a lot with my clients. Is there a difference between fresh, frozen, canned, dried fiber foods? And I'll tell you one thing that is a good thing. Fiber stays the same unless removed, right? So things like juice or peeling the skin of fruit, that is taking away the fiber. But if you are keeping it, it stays. Now, when you're eating stuff like dried mangoes that are delicious, but it has no water, the fiber is still there, however, I would suggest that you would enjoy fiber sources with water because it also helps with portion control and it helps you with blood sugar balancing. So I will always suggest, I'm not condoning, right? But I will always suggest if you like these fruits, again, instead of having the juice that probably is going to have the fiber taken away, eat the fruit. Enjoy the fruit in the natural state. A lot of the fiber is lost and is typically when you process, when you peel, when you make these changes to the food as in its original state. Now, what if you have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes? A high fiber plate will help you balance your blood sugar and your weight. Now, I will, and that is something that I am passionate about, I will modify this because some fruits and some grains may actually spike your blood sugar. So you may need to track how it impacts you, and you may need to make a few changes. However, I am here for you, and this is my passion. And if you are in this situation, I am perfectly capable of supporting you on this. Now, last few questions are, is this a vegan or vegetarian diet? While I am going to refer it as plant forward, meaning you are going to incorporate more fruits and vegetables into your diet, the answer is no. The focus is pretty much to have 75% of fiber rich foods. And then the other 25% is completely your choice. It could be protein based from animals, or it could be plant based as well. And being that this is evidence based, that is not a fad diet, um, please share information with your physician if you feel that you need to. And feel free to email me at hello@jennypena.com. That's hello at JENNYPENA.com. And I will answer your questions. If you're following me on Instagram, I'm Coach Jen P. You can send me a message there. I will address any questions you may have. And if you need additional information about the program, I'll be more than happy to send you some additional information if you need to talk to your doctor about it. Now, how to join the program. This is one of the most affordable ways. And I did it because I wanted to make this affordable and reachable to everyone to join this program. And it is under $197. That is for 8 weeks sessions. Now, the sessions are weekly on Fridays at noon Eastern Standard Time. And I decided to do that because I figured, okay, it's lunchtime. Most of my clients typically are working from home on Fridays, and it is done virtually via live sessions on Zoom. You can join in. I would love to have your camera on, but if you feel a little shy, if you're having lunch at that time, that's perfectly fine. But I would love for you to participate and take advantage of it. And it's 50 minutes with about 10-minute Q&A session. So you can have all your questions and you can leave every single session with a clear plan. Electronic materials are absolutely free. I will send you a link so that you can download them. You can use them electronically. You can print them out at home or your printer of choice. Now, you can also get really nice bound materials for purchase on Amazon, and I can also send you a link for that. The start date is Friday, October 3rd. And every Friday after that, we will be meeting at the same time at noon Eastern Standard Time until November 21st. Now, I have an amazing bonus that I want you to take advantage of. If you register before Monday, September 22nd at midnight, you are going to get a bonus one-on-one session with me to build your personalized strategy. So, within these 8 weeks, we will meet for 1 hour. We are going to get everything that you need discussed so you can have a clear plan. And this is like an amazing bonus. However, you are going to get lots of support, and that's why I want you to join in. And because space is limited. I know virtually you can hold a lot of people, but I want it to be very personalized. So I don't want to be a large group. So the moment that you feel that this is something that you want to do, please register. Do not delay. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Here's a QR code so that you can register. And it is only one payment of $197. I'm telling you, if you split that between the sessions, It is about $20 per session. 8 weeks of support is the easiest way to invest in your health. And you can also go to subscribepage.io/fiber for the landing page that has all the details about the program and also where you can register. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. And let me know if you need anything. All of the information is going to be in the description for this video, and I will be excited to have you join me on Friday, October 3rd at noon Eastern Standard Time for our very first session. Have an amazing rest of your week. Bye.